Given the pace of change in spending patterns, inflation, and central bank policy, the cross-currents in the global economy today are both a tremendous threat to and opportunity for global businesses.
Coming at it from just the Canadian-US perspective, I can't say enough how important it is to have a cross-border strategy. And I think as we see these things move across the globe, it's just even more important to have a global strategy.
What this means is that a lot of the North American strategies and tactics are being imported into an English system, and our English system just isn't built, I think, for dealing with collective litigation with some of the efficiency and fairness mechanisms that you get in the United States and Australia. When we're looking statistically at what's active, our statistics tell us that financial products comprise 29% of the claims in the English market. 22% are traditional product liability, defective product, something not working. And 15% of claims are what I call ESG claims. And in the United Kingdom, they have quite a heavy human rights flavour.
For businesses, litigation driven by an activist agenda presents a particular type of challenge. It's different to the standard sort of commercial litigation that businesses might be used to, because the purpose of bringing high-profile, headline-grabbing litigation might not be simply winning the claim. Success will often lead directly to change being ordered, but the publicity, the glare of publicity shining an unfavourable light on a business may be enough in itself to affect meaningful change.
However, currently German plaintiff law firms are increasingly trying to bring class actions also in payment claims, thereby reinterpreting other provisions of the German procedural law. For example, they are using the notion of joinder of parties as a basis for combining hundreds of plaintiffs into co-plaintiffs in one action.
We love this because you can then put information into the record. You are not confined to the motion to dismiss, and you can therefore rewrite the narrative of the lawsuit. So for example, we have one case where the company did have just a coding error. There wasn't a hack, there wasn't a malicious actor, nothing. But of course you read the complaint and you think that something completely different happened.
What that means, I guess, in English is that it makes it possible for folks in the EU to bring collective claims for infringements of various areas of EU law, in particular areas, including general consumer law, data protection, financial services, energy, telecommunications, travel, environment, and health. So it's a pretty broad spectrum. And really, these changes in Europe have opened a lot of new avenues for litigation. And much of what we've seen and what we're here to talk about, I mean, collective claims have become a very lucrative area for plaintiffs, lawyers, and claimants, as well as for litigation funders.
But definitely greenwashing, it's been around for a while. A lot of this has been in the financial services and the insurance space longer than it's been in other places. So people are at least a little more accustomed to some of the ESG framework, but we're definitely seeing the greenwashing stuff coming up.
Just the other day, the High Court of Australia delivered a ruling where foreigners can be group members in Australian class actions, which I think is a significant decision. Whilst on its face, it's limited consequence in this particular litigation. But it's a significant decision, I think, for global companies, particularly because, and someone I think Jeremy touched on, we have an open class action system in Australia, and so we have an opt-out process.
Your class action waiver is your first line of defense, and if you are successful in enforcing your arbitration provision with a class action waiver, it's essentially the death knell for the class action. It's going to be handled on an individual basis. We spend a lot of time drafting our provisions and thinking about how we're going to move to compel arbitration to achieve that result.